What is your profession?
So here we have 1,500 points of Deathwatch. Starting on the left, we have a bike squad with 3 power swords and a sergeant with a power axe. We've got a kill team, sergeant with Xenophase blade, combi melter, black shield with 2 lightning claws, 3 regular power sword guys, a bolter guy, and a terminator with an assault cannon and power fist. Over here we have another kill team with combi melter sergeant, 3 power sword guys, black shield with power sword and a chain sword, a regular bolter guy, and then 2 terminators. One with storm bolter and power fist, the other with storm bolter, cyclone missile launcher, and power fist. Vanguard veteran squad over here, all with jump packs. We've got 2 with storm shields, and then one's got a power maul, one's got a power sword. Sergeant with dual lightning claws. We've got a guy at the back here with a plasma pistol and a power sword, and another guy at the back here with a power sword and a bolt pistol. Dreadnought with dual las cannon and fist and storm bolter. The Dorado, you guys know what this does. It's very, very powerful. And then we've got 2 captains, one with a power sword, combi flamer, one with a thunder hammer. So 1,500 points of Deathwatch. Let's see what they're up against today. Here we have 1,500 points of Black Templars making their debut appearance on this channel. I've been painting them up really diligently, taking my time, and now they're ready to purge some heretics. So starting on the left over here, we've got 2 7-man squads. One sword brother has 2 lightning claws. We've got another power sword in the squad, and then we have a plasma gun, 2 regular initiates, and then 2 neophytes. This squad, we've got a sword brother with power sword and combi flamer, a power axe on the initiate, another flamer, and then we've got the rest with bolt pistol and chainsword. With them will be Chaplain Lazarus, just my regular chaplain. He's got no upgrades, just got his Crozius, and then we've got the Emperor's Champion. He will be seeking out Johnny's characters today and trying to put them to the Black Sword. They'll be riding around in this Land Raider Crusader known as Sigismund's Wrath. It has got 2 hurricane bolters, a storm bolter, and twin assault cannon, and it has the frag assault launchers as well. Moving over, we have 2 10-man squads. Both are pretty much identical. Each one's got sort of a melter gun in it, a plasma gun, and a couple of power swords. There we go. Finally, onto the elite section, the Sword Brethren. We've got a 5-man tactical Terminator squad with assault cannon, and the sergeant has a power sword, and the rest have got storm bolters. Then we have this 5-man Vanguard squad, 2 with bolt pistol and chainsword, and then the rest have plasma pistol and power sword. And finally, bring a little bit of air support today, we have this Storm Talon gunship, 2 las cannons, and twin assault cannon. So there we go. Let's see if we can purge these traitorous Deathwatch. So here we have the field of battle after deployment. It's table quarters today, and the mission is the Scouring. So the Black Templars have deployed a Crusader squad down here on top of what the objective there. We've got another Crusader squad here. Storm Talon back here, trying to avoid some incoming fire. Land Raider Crusader here, and the rest is in reserve. Now the Black Templars were going to go first, but the Deathwatch have just seized the initiative. So it's going to be an interesting game. The objectives are here, here, and here. Another one over there, and then one more here. And I believe that is all of them. Oh, no, one more here. So we're going to roll now, see which is the superior objective. And that is number 4. So number 4 over there is the superior objective. We're going to roll to see what the inferior objective is. Number 2, which is this one in the centre here. So it's kind of interesting. It's all going on in the centre. It's good and it's bad, but let's see what happens at the end of Deathwatch turn 1. And just to let you know, the terrain is from Game Mat EU, and that's their industrial wasteland terrain, and the battle mat today is from Deep Cut Studios, and that's their industrial wasteland mat. There'll be a couple of links down in the description, but let's see what happens at the end of Deathwatch. So here we have the Warlords for each faction. The Warlord trait that I'm going for, I believe, is called Rights of War, which gives everyone around me fearlessness, and also I've got the Templar helm as well, which gives me a +3-inch buff to all my traits, so that's really good. And the relic, oh that's it, I've said that. And the Warlord trait for the Deathwatch is the usual one, which is Legendary Fighter. Deathwatch are actually still in a patrol detachment. So that's interesting. So they've only got 3 command points, and the Black Templars are in a battalion, so they have 6 command points. So Deathwatch turn 1, mixed bag, 6 wounds done to the Land Raider, he's not got a bit of a beat going on. Land Raider going on over here. 3 wounds done with the las cannon, 3 wounds done with a Cyclone crack missile. Then the rest of it bounced off. Really nice having that toughness 8 plus a 2 plus save. I mean, very tasty. Over here, these guys dropped down but were unable to make the charge distance. They did take a wound in Overwatch, but they passed it. And the same for the captain over here. And he went in and he smashed 3 of them to pieces. So that was pretty good. These guys took some damage from the Dorado, but they passed their battle shot test thanks to And They Shall Know No Rules. So there we go. Not a bad turn for Deathwatch. Hopefully the Templars can respond in kind. So Black Templars, turn 1, they got hit hard, and as you know, they can hit back even harder. Over here, you can see there's just a whole load of Templars that's got out from the rise over here, moved back over here. These guys fell back. This squad and lots of other bits fired into the... oh, sorry, I should do this in the right order. This squad and this squad fired into the Vanguard over here and killed 4 of them, and then he finished one off with the assault cannon and killed a bike over there with his las cannon. And then this squad and the Emperor Champion managed to do 2 wounds to the captain that was there with some lucky firepower. Johnny made about 8 4-up saves from all the DACA from this thing, from all the Storm Bolts and the Hurricane Bolters, so really lucky. But then this thing fired its assault cannon in against these bikes. Got a respectable amount of hits, did about 5 wounds, and then 6 wounds, sorry. And then Johnny failed 5 out of 6, even though he was in cover. That assault cannon just murdered them. The last thing of the turn was the Emperor's Champion. Went in there, he got all hits, all wounds. Johnny made 4 out of 5 Iron Halo saves. He was umming and ahhing about the last one because he wasn't sure, because he thought it's only D3 damage. He didn't take it because he could have used the 2 command points to interrupt, and unfortunately I got the magic 3 and I killed the captain that was there. So it was a sort of tactical decision, and unfortunately it didn't pay off for the Deathwatch. But let's see how they can retaliate in there. So a bit of a mixed bag for the Deathwatch there. This squad used the teleporter Homer to boost over to here to get some flanking shots on the Lamb Raider. Unfortunately, only 1 wound was done. It was pretty good at making it saves this turn. Clearly, it was blessed by Sigismund. However, the rest of the firepower came in and did some pretty significant damage to this Storm Talon gunship. The Dorado was struggling to hit though. Big difference when moving, so -1 and then -1 for being a flyer. So that made a big difference. But the Twin Lascan Dreadnought did manage to chip off 3 wounds, and then the Dorado was able to chip off another 3. So not too bad. But the Deathwatch were a little disappointed with that. They wanted to do a little bit more damage. Let's see if the Black Templars can now take advantage of this little break. So, a middling Black Templar turn, not great, but not bad either. Just Deathwatch and cover are tough. So these guys came around here. This squad's sort of setting up Overwatch on this objective because there's a cheeky Deathwatch bike around there. Everyone else who was originally in the Land Raider jumped back into it just to stay safe. And then this squad took a hell of a lot of firepower. This unloaded absolutely everything. This fired almost everything into it. And the elite, the Sword Brethren, dropped in and fired a lot. The Terminator was eventually brought down, and so was a couple of other guys. But yeah, we're saying that if you're around, because there's very little area terrain in this terrain set, we're saying if you're within 1 inch of these crates, basically you're in area terrain. You know, you get +1 save, because otherwise it's very difficult to claim cover with this particular terrain set. So yeah, we did a bit of damage, and we've deployed some tactical units, but as you can see, the Deathwatch are starting to move into position. Let's see what they can do in their turn. So, what a brutal Deathwatch turn. The Black Templars, Sigismund, he did not continue to bless us, just failing saves left, right and centre. I had about 6 or 7 saves to make on the Terminators, all of them 3 up. I only made 2 and they just got gunned down. Really unlucky, making 2 out of 7 3-up saves there. And then over here, these Deathwatch guys were easily able to go in and clear out the Vanguard. AP2 - shots, really, really good. And then over here, from the Dorado did a lot of the shooting over here, I should say, and this was able to pick the flyer out of the sky. So the rest of the shooting didn't really amount to much, unfortunately. And the last thing to say of note is the biker, he did a heroic charge. He came over here. He sort of missed all the shots in the shooting, which should have been a bit of an omen, because he then charged in and got vaporized by a plasma gun on the way in. So give and take on the Deathwatch turn, but that turn has definitely swung the game massively back in their favour. Black Templars are going to have to pray to Sigismund and hope that they can do some serious damage. Black Templar turn 3, bit of a quick one. We just moved these guys here, trying to keep them out of line of sight from a lot of the Deathwatch firepower. These squads stay here. They're just going to make sure they get that objective over there. And the Land Raider Crusader came round here, unloaded everything it could into these Deathwatch. Actually got enough wounds to wipe them all out, but Johnny used his one of his remaining command points. He's only got one left now to keep this sergeant alive. So he's still currently holding that objective, and thanks to Deathwatch being leadership 9, he doesn't have to take a battle shock test. He can't fail. So interesting. It's going to be difficult for the Black Templars to know what to do because of losing this flank so quickly, but the Deathwatch are definitely playing to their strengths. So we'll see what they can do in their turn. So 4. A short yet sweet Deathwatch turn. Lascan over here managed to, with the final command point, do 4 more damage to this Land Raider. This cheeky chappy over here ended up going back down there just to make sure he secures that objective. And the Dorado is just not misstepping. Lots of hits, lots of wounds. And then I had about 6 fire-up saves to make on this squad, and there was 4 guys left. 6 4-up saves, and there were 4 guys left. And failed every single save on that squad. Just clearly those guys did not bless their war gear before coming into battle. So it's really close game. Gonna have to see what the Black Templars can do. Interesting turn for the Black Templars. We managed to manoeuvre this Land Raider, and he could be it was a bit of a cheeky shot, not going to lie. Johnny was very gracious in giving it to me, and I just wasn't able to see under this bit because it's a cut-off corner. It allowed me to. I know it's very cheeky, but it was legitimate, and I was able to kill this one guy here. And then maybe for being a bit cheeky, the dice gods disapproved because I was only able, with all my shooting and charging, even the Emperor's Champion, was only able to do 3 damage to this Dorado. I have tied it up though, which is the important bit. And the Emperor's Champion did take a wound in return. He failed his 2+ armor save. So Templars are looking thin on the ground. We do have good board control, but this is turn 5. An interesting Deathwatch turn. Las Cannon guy over here got exactly what he needed to do, and he blew up the Land Raider. But the other firepower, with that Dorado being tied up, really was a lot less than we've had to be facing. So only a few guys were toppled from this squad, and the Dorado was forced to pull back. So that's all the damage done. The Deathwatch really want to go in for the turn so they can make sure this Dreadnought could just nip round here and grab that objective. The captain's currently holding that objective. So it's going to be interesting. Let's see what the Black Templars can do in potentially the last turn of the game. So, close, very close Black Templar turn. We were able to use a plasma gun to kill one guy over there because every last model that we can remove will really help us at this point. We were able to advance onto this objective and move this guy onto this objective this squad is holding here. However, the Dorado did absolutely fantastically in Overwatch, wiped out the 3-man squad that was there. Fortunately, the Emperor's Champion was able to get it without doing any damage, but he was unable to damage the Dorado, just locking it up. So that's it. Currently, it's in the Black Templars' favour. Let's see if the game goes on. It does. Black Templars have 1 command point left. We're going to use that to try and stop the game from continuing. Nope. The game is destined to go on. It's going to be close, guys. A short yet sweet Deathwatch turn. Able to snipe 2 here with some cheeky las cannon shots. And the Emperor's Champion was just brought down by this squad. Just he could make 2-up saves, but failed every single 4+ save and just laid low. But that's it for the Deathwatch turn. Let's see if the Black Templars can do anything to try and help secure victory in turn 6 Black Templar. So cheeky Black Templars turn. These guys stayed hidden, making sure that they can claim that objective. And the chaplain moved around here, stayed out of line of sight so he couldn't be overwatched. And then he charged the Dorado, locking it up and actually doing 4 wounds to it, so it's taken quite a bit of damage now. And this squad is staying there. So, does the game go on to turn 7? It does go on to turn 7. Let's see what the Deathwatch can do in their final turn of the game. So the Deathwatch did exactly what they needed to do there. It's going to be a really close one. This Lascannon Dread picked off 2 with his Lascannon, 1 with his Storm Bolter. So there's 2 left, and there are only 2 Deathwatch that are within 3 inches of the centre of this objective. So, wow, it's going to be a close game. And then over here, this Dorado is on this objective here. So, we'll see what happens. Can the Black Templars do anything to try and secure some kind of draw or victory on this day? End of turn 7, end of the game. What an absolutely epic finale. This squad was able to stay over here and hold that objective. We just didn't want to risk anything. We just stayed there and held on to that objective. Black Templar Chaplain got exactly what he needed, and he got within 3 inches of the centre of that objective. So we are claiming that one as well. Over here, we got onto this objective. We tried doing a bit of cheeky flamer, actually got 12 hits, but the Terminators absorbed it all. So there's 2 models here from both sides within 3 inches of the centre of the objective. So that is a drawn objective. So, if we count it all up, Deathwatch have 1 objective, plus the one over there, 2 objectives. So that's 4 points. No one's controlling this one, but then they also have this one, which is worth 1 point. So that's 5 points. Now, the Black Templars hold this objective and this objective, so that's 4 points, but we got first blood, so that's 5 points. It's a draw, absolutely epic, epic game. There's going to be lots to talk about in the after action report. So I've learned a hell of a lot with my Templars. Johnny's learned a hell of a lot with his Deathwatch. So absolutely epic game. Last 2 triumphant Templars just holding off this absolutely intimidating kill team. And yeah, it's really been back and forth this game. At first the Templars were doing really well, and the Deathwatch have very much done themselves proud and managed to claw back this draw. So, absolutely fantastic game. I think it's an absolutely perfect start for the Templars on the channel. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.